21-day fix extreme modifications for diastasis recti, specifically for the upper extreme fix. There are a lot of modifications that need to happen to make this successful for you, even if you feel like you're starting to heal your core at this point. So if you have any space at all between the rectus abdominis, be very aware that all planks need to have at least one knee down. So that's where we'll start. The modifications at minute 31 left, she's having you do push-ups. Go ahead and just put both or one knee down. I'll show you from the side as well. So you can have your knees all the way here underneath your hips, or you can push them back as long as you can keep the core engaged, tucking the tailbone under and keeping the navel pulled up and in and very strong. Or you can go up to one toe at a time. Okay, so you'll go down into your push-up and lift. Take your time and get good form, pulling the tummy muscles away from your clothes, not allowing any kind of sagging to happen here in the middle. Be very conscious of making that body nice and straight. And here it is with just one knee down. And then she'll have you go into a half range. So when you do that, just make sure it's at a level that you can keep complete control in, and you're doing sort of this half range thing. If you feel like things are starting to spill out, then you're going to want to raise your level almost all the way to the top and move your knees in a little bit. Keeping the core in control is much more important than how far you can go in your push-up, right? Because we definitely don't want to re-injure and reopen anything. Keep that in mind every time that you do push-ups in this and other series, because that is a difficult one to put back in. So keep a knee down. At minute 30, she does a row, okay? And so she's having you go into this lunge and do a row. So let's do that. Let's put one foot in the front. Let's put one foot back. The heel is off the ground here, and it's a slight lean forward. It is not putting your tummy on your thigh. It is not putting your tummy on your thigh. Do not put your tummy on your thigh, please. It makes me cringe. Okay, so what you'll do from here is you'll actually just support yourself and lift one arm at a time. And then when she goes back through the exercise again, you'll switch. You'll support here, keeping these muscles away from your thigh, and you'll pull and do a row on that side. My fear with doing both at the same time is that this part's very sensitive if you've had diastasis, and pulls the ribs apart and can injure you up at the top, which is very difficult to heal. Okay, so let's go into minute 29 left, into the chest fly. Let's do proper chest fly form for diastasis recti. This is very important. To get down, what do? You go to your side and then you roll. So have your weights ready. Go to your side, then roll onto your back, okay? Elbows bent, tuck the tailbone under and tuck the ribs down. Keep your core engaged and in control. Help yourself get your weights into your hands. Head down, feet down. Okay, now start with the weights over the chest. Engage the chest. Keep everything nice and firm, all pieces of the core engaged. Now as you go out, I want you to bend your elbows and make a box with your upper body, and then squeeze them up. I'm not going out with a straight or almost straight arm, because it's that issue of the upper core again. That part can come back open if we have too much spreading of the rib cage. So that's why I have my clients just bring it to a bent elbow, making a rectangle with the upper body, and then squeezing up. You will still get a chest fly here. It will still work, I promise. It's just not going to be as dangerous for the core. When you get out of this exercise, what do you need to do? You need to turn onto your side and use your arms to help you up. Let's go to at minute 27:45. I told you there's a lot of mods in this one, so make sure that you've thoroughly watched this before going through the exercises. At 27:45, she does a lat pull down. If you've gone through the flat belly system, you know that's a no-no. So when she does that lat pull down, I still want you to work your lats. They're an important muscle group to work, but you're gonna do them unweighted And yes, you'll still get work done. Pull the shoulders down, back and away from your ears. Tuck your tailbone down, tuck the ribs down, keep the core nice and engaged, and then you should be able to see your hands at this angle in front of you. When you pull down, keep the lats really super strong, squeeze them behind you without opening like that. This is wrong. This is right. This has to be very strong, ribs tucked under. So you reach and you pull, and you have to imagine that what you're pulling is very strong. Imagine that, and your lats will turn on. Okay, get those lats working and pulling all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. Why no weights? That exercise is notorious for reopening the injury. We just have to keep it unweighted and unresisted for now. And the same thing happens when she goes into the shoulder press at 21 and 30. Moving this way is important, and at this point in your recovery, you should be able to move this way unweighted without spewing everything open. So let's just focus on form there. So you have these imaginary weights here, and your shoulders tucked down and strong behind you with the lats turned on and the shoulders very strong. These are not shrugs, these are shoulder presses. So press the shoulder down as the arms go up. Do not push your belly out. Keep it pulled in and tucked in, and just get really strong there in the shoulders. Do them unweighted for now. I'm sorry, I know that you want to add weights there. There are other shoulder exercises that we will do that do require weights. At 21 and 30, that was it. At 20, this one's very important. She does a abdominal exercise. So if you've worked with me, you know this is where we have to be very careful. All right, so here's what I want you to do when she gets down to this twisted thing where she's extending and leaning back and lifting a leg. I want you to grab behind your thighs, roll the shoulders back and down, tuck the belly button up and in. Hold this position nice and strong and straight, and I want you to extend one leg at a time. There's no twisting, there's no weights, there's just core engagement. Okay, now if you're stronger and you feel like you can, you're going to let go of the legs, but it's still just one leg at a time, and body is tall. Body is tall. Because if we pull too far back at this point in your recovery, you could reopen the injury, and twists would be way too dangerous at this point. Okay, so we're getting core engagement, we're also getting stronger legs, and upper body is engaged. That's what I would like for you to do there. Okay, let's talk about at 17:15 left, she goes into dolphin pose, which is a plank with the elbows down, right? We're always talking about how to make this better. So from here, I want you to go down to the elbows, and I want your forearms and your hands to actually be parallel. Don't do this. That's not good for your shoulder joint. Do this. So the forearms are parallel, fingers are out wide, shoulders away from the ears. Push the knees back, tuck the tailbone way under, keep the core really super strong and away from your clothes, and this right here is a challenge for your core. Okay, if you want to add challenge to it, instead of going up to a pike, I just want you to lift one leg at a time. Push it back to straight, keeping the core muscles engaged, not moving anything else. Keep it very steady and very strong. This is a core workout, and this is a full body workout. Your legs are stretching, your upper body is holding you up, your core muscles are pulled in really, really strong. Okay, and so for some of us, we're gonna have to be way up here. Push in between the shoulder blades to get that part strong. Push into your feet to keep the core muscles strong, and you might have to just stay here or extend one leg out at a time, trying to keep your hips even and steady and the core muscles pulled in. It's a very difficult exercise for people recovering from diastasis recti, so be careful and focus on your form. At 6 minutes and 30 seconds left, you'll go into a tricep press. So just like we've talked about before, when you're doing these tricep presses or anything with double weights, I'm going to ask you to do just one at a time. All right, and I want you to hold, just like we did before. Put some pressure here on the thighs. Pull this weight up next to your body and press back. Be extra conscious of not twisting, holding the core muscles in, and letting the triceps do the work. And then when you go through the exercise again, you switch. Hold yourself up here, core muscles away from the thighs, away from the thighs, away from the thighs. And then push. And push back. That was a lot, I know, but study the material, go back and make sure that you modify properly for that upper extreme. You will get a workout.